Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tier 1 of SLR. Season 9 it is, and it's round 11. No, sorry, 10, I believe, of 11. The penultimate round, important in the championship. Alongside me this evening is Babulas. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Looking forward to an exciting race, and, well, Jeddah's the track that provides the most exciting races so far. Tier 1, 3 and 2 so far have definitely both been entertaining. But if we look at the championship standings, it's very close at the top, between the top two particularly. So McKenna and P1 with 132 points. What's happened out on track?
We have a sprint from Jody, I think.
On the outlap already, that's not a good start. So yeah, McKenna in P1, 132 points.
Sorry, it was Vito. He has a broken front wing.
Let's have a look.
Maybe you should change the screens.
Yeah, I was just going to go through the championship standings quickly. McKenna, okay. 132 points, and Adesi 120. So 12 points separate them. So if Adesi wants to really realistically be in the hunt for the final round at Monza next week, he needs to finish a couple of positions ahead of McKenna. So that's the situation. We'll go to the live race now, and qualifying has started. So Yenab, the first one on a lap. Do you want to take us through the lap, Babalas?
I don't know the corners.
I don't know the corner names either, all of the numbers, to be honest. Coming through Sector 1, I do know that. Very difficult to get the right lines. And making sure that you do not invalidate the lap, which Yeneb has done there. He'll want to make sure that he gets a decent timing at the start. Two McLarens missing, the second McLaren is missing. There are a couple of reserves today, one of them being Ocean Chief, amongst others. We have yellow flags in the final sector, but that will just be some cars backing off to let the others start their laps. Meepo has been very fast in Tier 3 and 2. And this is a Desi we're watching now, who's starting his lap. Doesn't invalidate where the previous driver Yenab did. A purple Sector 1 for him as he comes through. But yeah, if you were in a championship situation yourself, Babalas, and you were trailing by 12 points in the penultimate round, ideally, what would you want the situation to be in the race? In terms of how...
It depends in which position I will start the race.
Yeah. So in qualifying, you obviously pole is best, but you want to be starting ahead of your rival. Ideally,
yes,
a couple of...
I have to know exactly what the pace of my opponent is.
Yeah.
Because if he's faster than me, I would let him in front of me so I can trail him to preserve the RS, to get the RS whenever possible, and I attack at the right moment.
Yeah, and meaning...
It's a risky thing. It's a risky thing, I know, because you let your opponent in front. But if you can keep up with him, then you gain a lot of things.
Indeed. As McKenna is going to start his first lap of the session. No, he's not actually. He's just invalid one. So that's not the best start for him. But yeah, as you're saying, you want a couple of cars in between you and your rival as well. Especially with 12 points. Because the further up the grid both of you get, the bigger the points difference between the places. So, ideally, you probably want to be level on points going into the final round. But we'll see what comes of it between McKenna and his championship rival, Justin. As Wow has gone pole with a 28-1. He's on an in-lap, and that's a Ferrari span round, and that is Justin. Not a Ferrari, a Red Bull.
Yeah, Red Bull. Icewind is very close on the first, on the pole position.
Oh, Eagle Ghost has retired. Let's see if we can get on board with Yenab and see where that actually is. as he's crashed on track through the tricky right-hander in the wall there on the right, which you can see. So the Alpine of Eagle Ghost won't be setting a lap this evening.
Eagle, what happened? Can you tell us?
As Jari's going to come across the line now to bank his first attempt for this evening. And he goes pole with a 28.1.
Oh.
Very, very close between the top four. It's under a tenth.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard race, hard qualifying.
And with it being such a flat-out track, with being on the throttle so much of the time, the times are naturally closer together. So that little bit of extra traction you get, or the millisecond later that you brake into a corner, will make all the difference here in Jeddah. And that's most people having finished their first laps, other than Copy, who is on an in-lap.
Oh, Yaris spun.
So that would be on his in-lap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's got no wing now as well. Missing the front.
Because it is a fast track and it has a lot of corners, you have to take the perfect racing line.
Oh, he's hit the wing again.
He has to slow down a little bit. He has time to go out again.
Yeah, definitely. 10 minutes remaining. You say 2 laps probably, but he just needs to make sure he doesn't retire by pushing it too hard back to the pit lane here. Who else is on the lap? Danny.
You have to be careful about the racing line and the tire temperatures. So you're gonna have a lot of overheating in the tires, to be honest.
Yeah, with the natural environment being in the desert anyway, it's not going to help. Danny, Purple Sector 1, is on his first run. And he's coming through the middle sector now. Difficult corner this. You've got to make sure that you accelerate towards the wall and at the last moment pull away. DRS zone, very short. You don't get many overtakes done in this area of the track. But onto the back straight. Purple Sector 2 as well, as he almost clips the wall there, which would have been curtains for him. Coming into the final corner. Braking nicely, slight lock up, but shows that he's pushing the limits. And across the line, I have a feeling this might be close to pole, and it is. At first into the 28.0s. That's a good lap from Danico.
He was very close to breaking the 128. Very close.
Yeah. And well, he'll be hoping to do that on his next run. But McKenda now, who invalidated his first lap, is on another. Desi too, so the two championship protagonists battling it out on track in qualifying, and hopefully we'll see a lot of wheel-to-wheel action between them throughout the race as well. That would be interesting.
Purple second sector from McKender.
Yep, and a purple sector 1 for a Desi. So both, you'd say, are going to get up into the top 3, but how close can they get to pole, or can they snatch it themselves? McKender in his scarlet red Ferrari, sporting the yellow livery today as well. It's going to come across the line, and he does go pole, and he's the first into the 27s.
Breaking the 128.
And here comes the Desi, and he goes even faster, a 27.8 now. So Jari, who we all thought was super quick, has been overtaken, and wow, now goes into P2, splitting the two championship contenders. So
I
that's
believe we
laying
will
down a
have
marker.
improvements. We have time for improvements in the times.
Yeah, you've also got Jarry, who's just started yet another lap. He's hustling it through the first sector. Almost looks like the car is out of control, but that's how fast these guys drive. Purple sector 1, 1/10 up for Jarry. But it's so close between the top 7, 8, 9.
They should give me their brains because I can't drive like that.
Yeah, same. And he's just hustling through the corners. He's sliding through them on the throttle so early.
That is not optimal, as I may say.
Yeah, just lost a bit of time on the Delta, but still just over a 10th up on his time. It's not the shortest lap, it's 1:28s, 1:27s, but it does feel quick, especially when you're going around the streets at such a high speed. The start-finish line does come across quickly, and wow, 0.6, so 0.2 in the lead now, Jarry, and he wants to spoil the party. Meepo went up to...
He's slipping a lot.
Yeah, Meepo went up to P5 as well. Very good lap from him, getting on the brink of the 27s. Who else is about to set a time? Copy. He's coming onto the home straight now. And he improves by 9/10 to go up into the top 10. Danny and Icewind both looking to start their laps. Need to get a bit of a gap between them. But yeah, most people in the pit lane now, apart from the two Aston Martins and the McLaren of Samim, who did well in Tier 3. Be looking to replicate that today if he can.
I don't know about Samim.
Well, Danny and Icewind started laps fairly close together. Danny would have probably been in the championship hunt, but he has missed a few races, so that's not helped him. He's backed off from this lap, so he must have made a mistake somewhere, but Icewind's still on for a good one.
How much difference Danny has from the top?
How many
Points difference.
Points difference? Let's have a look. Only 25, in fact. So, you know, he's on 107, a Desi 120. So, you know, if a Desi or McKenna retire, he could be up there. So you never know. He can get himself back into it pretty quickly if things go his way.
If my rough calculations are correct, if he finished top of the... How many races we have? 2?
One
and
left
this
after this. One left after this.
He doesn't have the time. I thought there are 2 more races after this.
One after this. One left after this. So if he wins, he really needs McKenna or a Desi, or preferably both, to retire.
And then we'll be all even.
Yeah.
Pem is running, but he is just a little bit late by 0.04.
Yep, very close between those two. And, yeah, Makenda is going to cross the line in a minute for what will be his last lap of the session, so he's gone out quite early for this. On to pole, 27.5, so you keep breaking the record. Adesi will want to match that or go better himself, as he started his lap pretty early as well. Everyone out on track now.
This is improving by 0.05.
Yep, so what does he need? 3/10 to go pole. A bit more. So he needs to have a perfect final corner as he nearly hits the McLaren going down there.
Good exit right now, we'll see.
All the McLaren in the background is spun round. That is Sanin. Up to P3 with the 1.5 improvement. So he won't be on pole. Makenda is guaranteed to start ahead of him. A Zykin 5-place grid penalty. Collision with Justin. Wow, crossing the line now for his final lap. He improves by 0.2, but doesn't manage to improve his position. What's Danny Coe doing? He's just started a lap. And Jarry is in the middle of one.
I would be happy with the 4th place. Come on.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah. Definitely in Tier 1 with these times. 27s. 27.5 is a ridiculous time. On to pole for Jarry, 0.2. So blows all the other laps out of the water.
Oh, we have what? An incident? Sector 2 and Sector 3?
I think it might just be people letting others past. But the checkered flag is out. Danny still wants to spoil the party. And I tell you what, Copy... Oh no, okay, Copy has invalidated. Icewind is going to cross the line as he comes into the pits instead. So Danny is really the only threat to pole now, I would say, who's on the lap. You'll need to improve a fair amount as Vito goes P4. That was unexpected.
He wasn't running all this time or invalidated. He didn't have any time.
And wow, up to P3, Danny doesn't improve his position. Copy has invalidated. Yenab on a lap still. I think Jarry has crashed there. I think he has. Yenab up to P7. So I think that is the grid. It is, because Ocean Chief has invalidated and Copy has too. So there's your grid. Jarry on pole. And Makenda is separated from Adesi by Wow, who will want to get involved in this championship fight if he can.
You think he's going to let Adesi go by?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I mean, he doesn't have to. He doesn't really have a reason to be honest. He'd probably just be wanting to have a good race. Hasn't had the best of seasons, Wow. Down in P6 in the championship, which by his standards isn't that high, considering he's a previous champion. But yeah, I think he'll want to finish on the podium, maybe even target the win. He's got the pace. So it should be interesting to see what happens at the start.
Do you bet on the safety car?
I mean, I bet on the safety car racing yesterday and there wasn't one, so did Makenda, who underfueled by 1.5 laps. And ended up...
We had 4 on Tuesday. Oh, Wednesday.
Yeah, there were so many tier 3, weren't there? So, yeah, you never know. It may be a pattern. May have 4 again. But Jarry on pole, 27.265. A very good lap from him, separating McKenna by 0.2. And then, wow, as we said, in between McKenna and Desi, the two realistic championship contenders. Danny's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get back in the fight. He's going to have to win the race at least and hope something drastic happens to the other two. And Vito with a very good lap in P5. Yenab in 7th. The 4 Finns are separated by Copy, who's in P10. And then it's Justin, Ocean Chief, Lepson Azakin, Kebab, Hojan, Samim and Eagle Ghost, who retired on his first lap. And remember, there's no formation lap today as well, so let's not get caught out with that. But yeah, in terms of strategy, I think the soft hard is possible. I mean, McKenna tried the soft medium yesterday, didn't he? So maybe he might do that again.
Soft hard. It's a little bit extreme for my taste. Yeah, because the degradation is very, very big.
Yeah.
Because I have run this track on my team.
Yeah.
The soft optimal range is up to 8 laps. Okay.
Right. Well, we're underway, and there's no formation lap, so it's lights out and away we go. And Jarry has got a very poor start, and he's dropped down into P3, make that P4, P5 as he's battling side by side with a Desi who gets past, and now he's vulnerable to Danny, who's in P6, wants to make that move. Let's go on board with him for the next couple of corners, but Jarry making the move past the Desi yet again, and he'll be annoyed by that because he had made up a position and was one step closer to McKenna, who now finds himself in the lead. Vito holds on to his P5. Danny and Yenab, the two Williams, behind each other, with Icewind looking to get past as soon as possible. But McKenna with a 1.6 second gap as Jarry now gets past Wow. So he made a poor start, P1 to P5, but he's back up into P2 right away. There's Danny all over the back of Vito. These two have history racing side by side in 2S quite often as Ocean Chief and Copy down the order. I don't know what happened to Copy. Seems like he's lost quite a few positions.
4 positions. He lost 4 positions. Zaken won 4 positions.
Sorry to butt in here, but we're going 2 by 2, almost 3 wide here as Icewind is in front of 3 cars, all vying for 7th position. Meppo, Yenab and Pemi went side by side into the final corner as Yenab now is looking to overtake Pemi, but he's been overtaking himself as they come into turn 1. The McLaren slightly ahead and gets that one done as McKenna sets the fastest lap and has extended his gap to 1.4 seconds within 2 laps. So very good pace from him. Have you seen anything else down the grid?
Ezekiel which positions? Slowly. He has 5 positions. Oh,
Vito.
Okay.
So he was in P4, I think it was. That gives a Desi a position, or maybe it was P5. Either way, he's lost too many for his liking. I can't see any damage, but he's lost a lot of positions, and his tyres will be very warm, so he'll be vulnerable to everyone else. But yeah, very good quality from Vito. Still a long way to go in the race, but in Tier 1, you can't afford to be making those sorts of big mistakes in the early stages of the race. Now Jarry has closed the gap to McKenna as there's another yellow flag, and that's Hojan this time at the back of the field. His DRS is enabled as they cross the line. Won't be on this straight, but the next one. And Jarry will be wanting to get back in there as he beats McKenna's fastest lap. And with a 31.3. He'll want to get within the
The
1
arrest
second.
enabled for this lap.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, someone's span. Icewind
Icewind
is out. Oh, and
spin.
Sayer again. Yenab as well. So two of them
After
spinning
Sayer.
in the same place. Not involved in the same incident. But
I told you they are gonna have a lot of problem with the tire overheating because the track is very fast, and because they drive fast, they overheat the tires.
yeah, and if we look at the tyres, sorry I didn't show it earlier, but an equal split between hards and mediums between, well, the whole field really, as Icewind is going to get back past Kebab pretty comfortably, and he's going to try and regain some of those positions he lost. Jarry now within DRS range of Makenda with the rear wing open.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Azaik, and here he has gained 8 positions.
Yeah.
He's now P12 from back of the grid.
Good effort from him as Lepson is overtaken by Vito. So Vito, Yenab and Icewind, all those who are, you'd say, out of position down the grid. As Jarry now has DRS over the back of Makenda. Going to look for a move, perhaps, into turn 1, but I think he's a bit too far back, or not. He's going to dive up the inside, is Jarry, for the first position in this race as he cuts the apex of turn 1 and gets a penalty. If we go back to Copy and Ocean Chief, that's another overtake that was made into turn 1, as they're very close together. Ocean Chief trying to get that back. But yeah, a penalty for Jarry at this stage of the race is not ideal. But he's got into P1.
Can he create a gap for 3 seconds? Unless he hopes McKinnon will take a 3-second penalty.
Oh, there's someone else that's off, and that's Azikin. And he has crashed into the wall. His whole front wing has been sheared off. No safety car, but a bit of debris on track, so drivers will have to be careful about that, but if they keep on the track they shouldn't come into it. But yes, I was going to say Adesi really probably needs to get past Wow, and Makenda will be wanting to just hang on to Jarry and see if he can increase the gap behind. As he's going to go side by side with Jarry. I think it would just be a pretty easy swap of the lead, a mutual agreement between the two, knowing that they can both benefit from it, as Icewind up another position, back into P14.
Zach has no front wing.
Yeah, so he crashed in Sector 2. And Adesi now under pressure from Danny. Not close enough to Wow to mount an attack as of yet, but yeah, Danny wants to gain as many positions as he can for his own sake, really. And if he can get past the Desi, that will be one step closer to what he's trying to achieve this race, which is get back in the title fight.
Jonty is closing on to Justin.
Yep, closer.
Justin has won 5 positions, sorry. Pemi 4 and Jonty 3. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so a couple of these guys obviously benefiting from the mistakes of Icewind, Vito and Yenab. As Danico is even closer now to Adesi as they come down to the final corner. And they're both closing on Wow thanks to DRS. I think we'll see round 2 as a McLaren span round at the back. We'll come back to that in a moment. But at the front, it's Danny versus Wow and Adesi, who is looking into turn 1. What's Adesi going to be able to do here as they go side by side into the first corner? Danny's sort of sandwiched in between, can't really do anything else about it. Boxed in as Adesi gets past Wow at the moment, but they're side by side as they come into turn 3. This is a really important corner for Adesi. He has to get past, and Wow keeps on to the position. And now there's a whole gaggle of cars behind them with Danny and Meppo joining in the fight on his fresh mediums as well.
Mipo is right on the tail of Danny. He's not making any move right now.
Yeah, well, his teammate up there, Adesi, perhaps he's helping him in the championship, you might think. Although knowing Meppo, he's probably wanting to go for glory himself. And yeah, he's much closer to Danny now on the fresh mediums, with everyone else ahead of him on the hards. And that's different about the leaders. They have a different strategy to Adesi and Wow and Danny being on the hards. They can go longer into the race, and perhaps if there's a safety car to come later on, they can benefit from that, as Adesi has DRS all over the back of Wow, and he's going to go for the move here, and he's going to get that done pretty easily, as we see a nice helicopter cam, and
we have another DRS zone.
Yeah,
here.
So I think this is the thing.
He may win back the position.
Although Wow is not attempting a move at the moment. So 3.4 seconds the gap as up front as Copy gets past Yonti before turn 1. Oh, and he span. Copy has span as Vito gets past the AlphaTauri of Ocean Chief. Copy has span and he's come back onto the track. But I think Vito... I don't know what happened there. What happened to Vito? Because he was... sorry, Yonti. He was ahead. Maybe he let Copy back past after an incident. But yeah, the key battle now is these top 7, with Pemi now on the back of this train as well, as Samim has another incident. Dropping back a bit. Wow, see, Desi does have the pace. He's slowly closing that gap between the top 2, and if he can get onto the back of that train, that will be the best thing for him.
If Adesi is fast enough to close the gap between him and Zari, he will pull everybody with him.
Yeah,
because they have DRS. So
yeah, look at that.
It's not going to be a two-car race anymore. It's going to be 7-car race.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Pemi getting onto the back of that as well. Meppo dropping back slightly from Danny, but he's got the pace. He just needs to make sure he uses it at the right time. But obviously, the front 2 have got DRS on each other, so it won't be easy for Desi to close that. But he has been doing in the technical sections, even though on the hards. So is that... Oh, and Jari gets another penalty, so that's already 6 seconds for him.
And he's trying so hard to keep up with McKendall that he has spent almost...
Sorry, someone's off. It's Vito again. In the middle of a big battle. And he's span, I assume. And he's back down to P14 where he was before he made his progress back up the grid. So that's will be frustrating for him. So that's Eagle Ghost, I believe, causing the yellow flag.
Let me see what is the status with the tires. So we have Mipo, Pemi and Ocean with medium, so they're gonna have to pit early, let's say early.
Yeah.
Or they gonna try to go a long stint, but I don't think soft will last.
Yeah, I don't think you can go on the softs from here. As Ocean Chief is overtaken by Copy into turn 1, and Yenab and Yonti side by side as Icewind comes into the pits pretty early onto a set of hard tyres, and Yonti gets that move done. So there's 3 real groups. You've got the group Makenda and Jari. You've then got the large group headed up by Adesi that goes all the way down to P7, and then you've got Ocean Chief, Yonti and Yenab.
We have a lot of battles. So far no safety car. Let's keep it that way.
Yep, I think Adesi will probably be hoping for a safety car at the moment. He's not been able to close that at all.
I believe he's praying for a safety car because the gap is still getting bigger.
Yeah. Remember that Makenda is ahead in the championship, so Desi ideally has to finish ahead of him.
What happened?
What's happened?
Yari went in front. Oh, Yari's going to the pits?
And he's crushed his front wing in the process. I wonder what happens here.
He was trying to brake late.
That was weird.
He's got a new front wing. He's losing a lot of time now.
And this is what we've seen from Jari throughout the season, is that he gives away, when he's in good positions, he gives it away quite often with damage or his game crashing or things out of his control sometimes. But often it's his own doing, such as the 6 seconds penalty and, well, crushing his wing on the way into the pit lane. But now Makenda doesn't have DRS, so maybe Adesi could close up at this point with his mediums.
He has a lot of problems because his tires are cold. He has to warm them up. I see him. He's sliding all over the track, and he has a late pit stop because he had to change his wing because of the crash.
Yeah. So he'll probably. Well, you'd say he'll probably come out behind this
He will be behind Makenda.
Yeah, definitely.
I may say he will be behind Adesi if they pit. And he has no ERS, he's only 22%.
I wonder what Makenda's going to do here, whether he pits. No, he stays out for now. Copy in a big battle here as Yenab and Yonti get past. And they're battling each other side by side. Another McLaren round. That's Samim again. But up ahead, Wow has got past the Desi. Into turn 1, though. What's Yonti going to be able to do on Yenab? And equally, Copy, who's already alongside, is 3 wide into turn 1. Yonti is overtaken by Yenab and loses 1 position. Could have lost 2 if Copy was a bit more alert.
Maybe he didn't want to get involved to not get any damage on the car.
Yeah, it's often a strategy and a good one. Especially when you're down here in the grid where you don't really belong. Wanting to make sure you don't lose any more unnecessary positions. Adesi has been overtaken by Wow, as we said. And he's already dropped 7 tenths.
I believe Makenda will be in the pits about now, 12 or 13th round. That is what I would do if I was racing for 11 laps. Yeah. But I didn't.
Yeah, I agree. I think just under halfway through the race is probably a good time to pit as he's coming up about...
he's coming in now.
He is, so let's have a look at his pit stop and where he emerges, because he does not really want to be in the train that contains Copy, Yari and Ocean Chief, as they are battling right now as we speak. So where will Makenda come out of the pit lane, or will it be in traffic? This is going to be crucial for him and Adesi and those vying for the win. And it looks like, well, I can't really call it at the moment. He's ahead.
He's ahead.
That's important for him.
With a big gap, if I may say.
Yeah.
22-second gap. He has to be careful on his first lap with the cold tires. So he's gonna lose some time probably.
Yeah, and Meppo interestingly staying out on that lap on his mediums.
Maybe he's going for the overcut.
Yeah, quite possibly. But it was like 3.6 seconds to Makenda, so... What was sector 3 yellow flag? Someone's off, and it's the McLaren of Samim. Okay. Adesi. Yeah, Adesi getting past by Danny, and now he's under threat from his teammate. And as we thought, Meppo is going for glory. He's not bothered whether his teammate is in a championship fight, as Adesi hits the wall there, and he's lost 2 positions in one straight. Adesi comes into the pits, and it's falling apart for him. I think he's got a broken wing from that hitting the wall, and he's now got a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, he's changing his front wing. The problem is he needs a safety car now, for the 5 seconds.
Definitely. And he's way behind Makenda because of his wing change, and with all those cars in between him.
The softs are they gonna last until the end? The mediums.
I think you can make them last, I'm pretty sure. It's only it's 12 laps, so if the softs go a maximum of 8, I'm pretty sure the mediums will make it.
They go 8 because you have, if you manage the tires, they go 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because the degradation is so big. For I had 35% degradation in the 8th lap with mediums.
Yeah.
In tire 3.
Danny's the only one who stays out of the top 3, as Wow and Meepo both into the pits, but onto the opposite set of tyres each, so Wow will theoretically be faster on these mediums. And they will heat up quicker as well. As they're going to come out right in the middle of this battle, or in fact right behind.
Now we're waiting for the other racers to pit so we can have a clear understanding of the changes they have, who gained, who lost because of the pit.
Yeah. And Samim is retired in the pit lane, so that shouldn't trigger a safety car. But yeah, Jari, you'd say, is back into this race now for the win. However, he has those 6-second time penalties. So if he didn't have that, then you'd say he might be in contention, but I think it's going to be a difficult task for him to win now. Especially with these cars on slower tyres in between him and Makenda. Copy overtaken by Meppo.
He's almost 4 seconds behind Jari. Jari's almost 4 seconds behind Makenda. So he has to do something. He has to drive extremely fast and take care of his car and not take any more penalties.
Yeah, and Danny's staying out quite far on those hards. Do you think he might be going on to the softs?
I don't know the conditions of his tires. He probably has good tires for now. They are hard, okay. So probably he's gonna try for the softs. If you see him around 18 or 19 rounds to go to the pits, then he can probably go for the softs.
Yeah, it could be a good strategy with the traffic as well, getting through that pretty quickly. But we saw the last Tier 1 race last week that some idiot could not get past on fresh softs, albeit a difficult track to overtake, because Jari gets another time penalty as we saw him just cut the chicane there.
Jari has 9-second penalty and he's gonna lose a lot of positions.
And Danny is pitting now, so this is interesting. What tyres will he go on to? the medium. So it's probably just a long overcut.
Probably it's gonna work.
Well, I think he's going to be ahead of Meepo. He is.
And now he will attack Yari.
Yeah, I think Danny's in a good position here, up to P4 on fresh medium. So when he gets these up to temperature...
Oh,
Jari spun!
Jari spun! Oh my god. Oh my god.
Probably the worst race for him. Yeah, he'll be really angry at himself. The penalties and the spin. And now another one.
He has burnt-out tires.
His Pemi is very close on the back of Copy. Idesi now. I didn't notice. Oh yes, he has that 5-second penalty, doesn't he? Who's off now? Someone else is Jari again. Going very slow.
Zenab overtook Yari.
Yeah, nice wind too. And here is Pemi though, on Copy. He's going to go for the inside.
Oh my god, you didn't see what Yari just did. 360 on the track. Oh my god.
Doing a Charles Leclerc. Kebab retires on track. And it is a full course yellow. And I think it is a virtual... No, it's a full safety car. So this changes the race now, as Pemi got past Idesi before it was called.
The only lucky guy right now is Copy. He can pit, he can... oh, Yari, another 5-second penalty.
Yeah, and he retires.
So, Copy can go in the pit, get the softs on. He will not have degradation over the 2 laps that the safety car will be out. So, it has a clean 6 laps of race.
Yeah, and it's safe to go for the softs now, so you can go on them to the end.
Everybody's going for the softs.
Yeah, but what it does for Idesi, he can clear his 5-second penalty, and he will be down in P9 when he re-emerges onto the track. However, he has no... nothing to hinder him. If he gains a position, it's genuinely his. Hojin is pit for the intermediates. That's an interesting decision.
Maybe he didn't click with the option.
Yeah, but even so, why would the default be intermediates? Normally it's like hards or something.
Maybe he was trying to change it to soft or something, and he clicked the intermediates.
Yeah, quite possibly.
He's gonna pit again. We have safety car to go around.
Wow does not pit. Neither does Danny. They're on the mediums. Neither does Idesi. This is interesting, because he's going to have those 5-second time penalty, but it does mean he has track position on Makenda, albeit only 1 position.
Those gaps are going to close down, okay,
yeah,
because of the safety car.
Yeah.
So, Horgen is cutting the track. He's cutting the track.
He's using ERS in the safety car.
Probably he wants to go and change the tires again. That's why he's running like no tomorrow. You can get so much grip from Inters in this race. You can't handle it. So he's rushing to the pit lane, I believe. Yeah, he's gonna pit again. He did some mistake, I believe.
I think Idesi is in a pretty difficult situation here with his penalty. Not just 3, but 5 seconds. And he's on the older mediums with soft runners behind him. And Makenda's right behind him. So I'm not sure this was the best strategy, but we won't judge until the end of the race. But it looks like he's going to lose quite a few positions with only like 5 laps of green flag racing yet to go after the safety car comes in.
If he didn't have the penalty, I wouldn't worry.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
he could handle himself. Okay, he has mediums. It's not that big difference from softs. They are slower, but if you have the pace, you can make it up for the harder tire.
Yeah.
We will see. We will see. We will be here until the end.
It's going to be difficult for Hojan and Azakin and Eagle Ghost to catch the safety car, I think.
I think the safety car is gonna stay out for one more lap. I think. I'm not sure.
Icewind pits again.
Maybe. He had to change his front wing or something?
Yeah, maybe. But he's on the fresh softs, so all of those between P6 and P11 are on fresh softs.
Lepson and Eagle didn't pit in to change to softs, so it's gonna be very interesting what we will see from now on from those guys. They may be slower, but they can still run, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are gonna have the safety car in this lap.
Yep.
Because the gap is closing. Gamer says, Woe is friends with Danny, so he must let him go by and defend against Makender.
Well, no notifications saying the safety car.
You never know.
Don't think the safety car is in this lap, because it'd be a bit of a late call if it is.
We have seen worse. We have seen the safety car go in right after the DRS zone. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I have seen worse. So it wouldn't give me any gibberish. Again, Gamer Woe is running for himself, not Danny. I think he wants to be on the podium, in the top place. So we are just waiting to see. Vito is coming too, slowly but steadily. If he has the pace to keep first position, why not?
Yeah. I think Makender is going to be all over the back of them though as well.
Of course, but we are just talking with Gamer about the situation in front of our eyes right now, because Woe is gonna keep the pace now that the safety car is gonna go in. So if he does a good restart and the other guys fight, so he may create a gap and be safe. We never know.
Yeah. So yeah, the safety car will most definitely be in at the end of this lap, as it is announced.
Sorry to interrupt you. And we are gonna have DRS only in the 2 last laps.
Yeah. As WoW is now in charge of when the safety car ends.
He's creating the gap he wants on the safety car. He's giving the pace.
Has to wait until the safety car's in the pit lane though, which it is now. So he can go from any minute now. We'll be keeping an eye on him. McKenna doesn't need to warm his tyres as much because he's on the softs as WoW is underway and the restart commences as Danny gets a pretty poor restart. McKenna already looking to go side by side with Adesi, who's under attack from Yenab, who's had a fantastic restart, and Adesi has been spun round in turn 1. That's the worst possible outcome for him. But Yenab up to P3 already. That's a fantastic restart from him.
And now the race is mediums versus softs. The top 3 have mediums. Can they handle the pressure of the softs?
Yeah,
that's
and
the
they've
question.
got 4 laps to defend. McKenna leading the charge from the soft runners behind.
Yeah, but their life is easier because they don't have DRS.
Yeah, very much so.
So they can defend more easily. I think everything is gonna be at the last 2 laps.
Yeah, might be so. As though McKenna is closing quite a lot. He's using all his ERS and he's going to sail past Yenab before they even get to the final corner.
He's gonna go for the kill now.
Yeah,
Dan is gonna
probably
go for the kill. Yeah, he's going.
Has Slipstream.
They both spent ERS. Yeah, I think Dan is front.
Yeah, and further back, Meppo was having a look at Yenab, but couldn't do anything about that on this occasion. Yeah, Danny overtaking and getting himself up into the lead of the race for what would be his 4th win of the season.
Icewind is on the pitch. What happened?
I'm not sure. He was in the midfield. Maybe he was involved in that Adesi incident. Not sure. 3-second penalty for Yonti, so some of them coming in now. 3 laps remain.
This is what I would call an all-out war.
Yeah,
sorry for my
so.
bad English, guys.
No, it's good. And look at this, Meppo all over the back of Yenab, and he's dropped 1 position, but that was still can't get my head around how good that restart was from Yenab. He just appeared in P3 out of nowhere.
Maybe he had a green flag as Dice did on Bahrain.
It's Meppo now up the inside, and DRS will be enabled when they cross the line. Meppo gets past, but Yenab will have the slipstream into turn 1, and he's closing. DRS enabled, and I'm afraid Meppo can't really do anything about that. Or can he? Keeps his nose in.
From both of them.
Oh, they've done well to keep that on the track, both of them.
Yeah, but them is right on their tail. Meepo is not having DRS, and Yenam has. So
I think it's going to get close between the top 3 as well. The last 2 laps.
McKenna is gonna go for the overtake with the use of DRS. DRS
Indeed.
is on. but also Wow has DRS. And that's, oh, Yenab is overtaking. But turn, butter. But they're still side by side. No. Yenab lost a good chance over there.
Very close between them in the first sector. But yeah, you'd probably say that even now the softs are probably past their best.
They are on the edge of their optimal. They are at the very edge of their optimal usage. We have two battles going on, Makender and Wow, and Meepo with Jenab. So, I don't know where to look.
Well, Meepo close at the moment as Yonti has had an incident. He spun around, but let's keep an eye on Yenab and Meepo as they're going side by side yet again. And Pemi getting involved this time also. We'll want a bit of that. But Meepo is now going to have the DRS on the next straight. Can he regain the position? Makenda is not going to be able to make a move into turn 1, or is he? Let's have a look quickly. Oh, and they're going side by side, and he's side by side with Wow through turn 2 is Makenda, and he's going to get that position done. And coming on to the final lap, you have to say that is game over, as they're here. Look down here, 5, 6 and 7. Pemi all over. Copy trying to barge his way through. Yonti retires in the pit lane, but Meepo and Yenab have got a little bit of a gap, because look at this. Adesi now in P9 all over the back of these two, and it's really hotting up in the final lap of this race in Saudi Arabia. 5-place penalty for Copy for gaining 1 place, and Adesi has span out Justin, and well, I don't know what to say really. That was absolute carnage.
We were expecting
it's not over yet, though.
Earlier, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not over yet. Look at Yenab on Meepo. They're going to go side by side into the chicane, are they? Yenab, tries to pull out, hits the wall. But this is it. Wow may well get past Makenda, but let's have a look at this battle down here, which is a little closer, as Yenab on the final lap. Well, I tell you what, Meepo has to have the exit of his life here if he wants to stay in P4, as Yenab doesn't get a particularly good one. Meepo on the back, he has DRS, but will the line come up quick enough for him? It's too far away, and side by side across the line, Copy and Adesi are so close, but Adesi's penalty means he drops down to P9, and he's all but out of the championship fight. And by my calculations, if Makenda retires in the next race and Adesi wins with fastest lap, he will win the championship by 1 point. So hanging on by a thread. But Danny has probably got himself back into it, trailing by just 17 points now, thanks to Wow overtaking Makenda on the final straight of the race.
So we're going to have a Titans race of the last race of the season.
Indeed, and this has set it up quite beautifully. But Adesi won't be very happy with what he did today. A couple of mistakes, and well, that penalty in the pit lane has cost him at least, I'd say, 5 points in total. But he may well get a penalty from the FIA for his incident with Justin. But we'll reserve judgment on that for the moment. But let's not take it away from Danny, who's won this race despite all the incidents going on behind him, and it's been a good drive.
I told you not to count him out.
Yeah, 25 points.
Good job from Danny.
Wow, P2 as well, so good drive from him. And there we go. If any drivers want an interview, pop into the interview channel. We'll be in there very soon.
You don't ask those things. You just get them in here. We are very polite.
Danny winning, Wow P2, Mikenda P3, and Yenab with a fantastic restart. He's up to P7. Who's your driver of the day?
Danny.
Yeah, same for me. I mean, flawless drive, to be honest. From
No
P6 on the grid, stayed out under that safety car and managed to not have any problems. So you would probably say that staying out of the mediums was the best strategy in that situation. Let's go to the interview screen and we'll have a look who's available in the Discord. Would you like to take the interviews if I quickly do some championship calculations and get back to you on that?
Do the championship calculations and get your interviews in here.
Yeah, I'll drag anyone in, but no one's there at the moment, but we'll wait and see. That'll be fine. Danny is driver of the day. If he's aware, would you like to come into the interview channel and we can have a chat with the winner? Anyone else, of course, who raced this evening, would be good to hear from you. Let me do some maths.
Do your maths to see about the championship standings.
Yeah. So Mikenda was P1. And he got P3 today, so what's that? 15 points. So he's on 145 is Mikenda. Desi got 2 points, he's on 122. So what's the gap between them? 145 minus 22 is 23. So Desi is still mathematically able to win the championship, but it'll probably take a retirement from Mikenda. Daniko was on 107, he's now on 133. No, 32. As opposed to Mikenda's 145. So what's the gap there? 13 points. So if Danny wins the next round, Mikenda has to finish P4 or lower, and then Danny wins the championship. So it's still on for all three of them, and it's probably made it a bit closer as well.
We're gonna have a big battle, I told you.
Yeah,
we're gonna have the Titan battle.
Should I just drag them in from the paddock, or surprise them? Let's go for it. Here's Danny. Hello, Danny Co.
Hello.
Winner today. And that was a very solid race from you. You're our driver of the day, P6 to P1. Tell us what it was like staying out on those mediums at the end. Did you think you'd be able to hold off the soft runners behind?
Yeah. It was just a matter of how they'd get through the traffic, to be honest. And didn't really get through it as good as I thought they would. So.
And by my calculations, you're 13 points now behind Mikenda in the championship. So in second place, and Desi losing out, obviously, with that turn 1 incident. I don't quite know what happened there, but you're out the front. 13 points going to the final round. What's your mindset on that?
It's gonna take a miracle to get the 13 on him. It's like he need to finish outside the top 10 for me to have a chance.
Yeah.
Not top 10, top 5 even. Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be a tall order, but you never know. I mean, crazy things happened today. What happened to Desi could equally happen to Mikenda next week, so you never know.
True. Monza as well, so, and he's in Ferrari, so he might go a bit hard. You never know. But yeah.
Very good race for me. Yeah, it looks fun to drive as well. And
I actually got a good start today as well, which is very nice.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if you realise, but Yenab, on the restart, was an absolute monster. He came up from like P9 up to P3 before turn 1. So
Really?
Yeah.
What a hero.
So we'll be
I think
looking
he
at
did
that.
what Dice did on Bahrain.
Maybe investigated.
No, because the restart line is very close to the pit entry.
Oh, true. It is. Yes.
So you don't have to
Yeah.
wait until the start line.
Mm.
So he may saw the opportunity to overtake people after that line.
Interesting.
Fair enough. True.
Well, we'll let you go, Danny. And
Thank you
will
very
you be
much.
practicing any more than usual for next week, or is it just the same?
Maybe a bit more.
A little bit more, yes, it's a championship we're talking about. Come on.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay,
We shall see.
congrats on the win.
Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
If I can drag people properly, there we go. Anyone else would like to join the interview channel? Otherwise, I think we're going to call it a day because there isn't anyone else waiting. I'll just mention it in the chat.
Okay, we have Ocean.
Oh, we do, yes. Hello, Ocean Chief. Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
How was it at the back there? Was it carnage? You had good battles with a couple of drivers throughout the race. Do you want to talk us through how exciting it was?
Yeah, I was, I'm rapid at this track. I just thought I'll hang out at the back and let the other guys take all the glory today. But, yeah, I mean, that was a bit like honestly, that was the best I could do. The first lap I did in quali was a 30.9. I was like, what? I don't think I had my ERS on.
And that might help.
I don't know. I'll have to watch back. Maybe it was just a bad lap. You know, when you do a lap and you think, oh, that was all right. You cross the
Yeah.
line. It's like 3 seconds off pole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Jeddah. You just keep it kind of between the hedges, as I say, or the walls in Jeddah. And I was hopeful of a P10, and it was kind of like coming closer, and then it would go away again. I would get a fast guy behind me. But yeah, it was like expect carnage at Jeddah, but I underfueled. Remember I said to you yesterday about 0.5 under?
Yeah.
0.5 under, not a good idea if there's no safety cars. I was really saving a lot of fuel during that race, like in the mid part, and then there was the late safety car. Even when that late safety car came out, I think it was like 8 laps to go, and I had 0.4 under, and I was really struggling to get it, like, I was lifting and doing all the stuff you're supposed to do, but it didn't seem to want to break even. So I was getting a wee bit stressed out about that. I had Lepson ahead of me, and then obviously the safety car put softs on, and then I just tried to bring it home and got P10. So that was that.
Infamous Ocean Chief P10.
Exactly. Yeah. It's been a while, but it's still got it, I guess. P10 wise. I was supposed to be doing commentary at Babalos. You're actually covering me. Kebab said about we need numbers for the tier 1 race, and I was like out of all the tracks, this is the one I wouldn't want to do. Jump in last minute. But it is what it is. Jumped in. It wasn't so bad. The one good thing about Jeddah is there's like no chance of rain.
Yeah.
But then again, you got to contest with these really mad walls that look really hard. I'm not sure. Like I'm guessing they're hard. I didn't test it out. Really. I think I glanced against one once, and that was enough for me. But yeah, that's it. I'm in 2S. I'm the tier 3 bottom feeder, and that's really what I am. I'm a bottom feeder. On these higher tiers with all these aliens. I'll just pick up the pieces, and occasionally you get lucky with a P10.
Yeah, indeed. And
he's talking about him being bottom feeder, okay? And he's faster than me. Come on.
Bro.
If you are a bottom feeder, what I am? I'm the dirt.
No.
You're the fed.
The bottom feeder. Yeah. Well, I'm just out here representing us old boys, Babalos, who support me, bro.
I know you can do better than that. You know that.
Yeah, well, on another track maybe, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if you ever done Tier 1 Babalos, but it's insane. Like it's impressive that these guys can go that fast consistently. But sometimes slow and steady doesn't win the race, but it might get you P10 occasionally, and I'm living proof of that.
If I run this race with no assist, I wouldn't make it past round 1.
You never know. You never know, bro.
I know. That's why I'm saying it.
one way to test it out. Why don't you come in Monza Tier 1? You know when there's the championship up for grabs,
Yeah,
getting
and
fought
win.
for, and you just no, you just smash into everybody in Turn 1.
You will kick me off the SLR, mate. So I won't take any chances about that. Sorry.
It's on
Okay,
record.
Guys, well, I'll let you get back to it, but yeah, cheers, and thanks for doing comments, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, mate.
Right, I'll drag
And
WoW
we
in.
have WoW.
Yeah. Hello, WoW125. Good race from you. P2.
No, WoW 25.
It was originally 125, wasn't it?
It was.
It
Yeah.
was, yeah. Been around longer than you, Babylon. No, that's but yeah, I mean, P2. You're probably thinking about the win during the safety car. But Danny managing to get past you on the restart.
Mhm.
Tell us about your journey, as it were, off the grid.
My
I mean, you
my
had
journey.
a pretty good qualifying as well. I think P3 was it.
Yeah, it was 50. Yeah.
So gaining that one position, it was pretty chaotic behind us. But
Was it? I don't know.
I mean, behind you, there was stuff going off everywhere. And
He didn't look back. He only
Nah,
looked
literally.
I only looked in front because that's what I was focusing on now. But no, yeah, I got a decently good start. I think Yari I think he forgot that formation that was off or something because he got a terrible start. But yeah, he managed to overtake me really quickly because he was on mediums. So was McKenna. So I was leading a train of like, what was it, a Daisy, Danny, and someone else for like the first stint. Had a nice little battle with a Daisy. And yeah, I think first it was pretty eventless. But yeah, then we pitted. Second stint was okay. I think I came out the pits in front of Yari, which was good, and I could quickly catch up to Mackenda, who was on hards then. The only problem I had was I was low on fuel. I underfueled and I couldn't make it up really quickly, so I had like minus 0.3. That's when the safety car came out, which was a blessing for me. So yeah, safety car, I could make up the fuel. I was in front. The restart was okay, but then he was really pushing it, really pushing for the overtake, and I thought like, okay, I'm gonna save my ERS for later. And my plan was to like overtake him in the last few laps, like last lap or second to last. But then McKenna came, dived me into turn 1 with a few laps to go, which lost me the crucial time to Danny, and also I had to overtake McKenna again. But yeah, overall P2, probably one of my best performances so far in F1 2022.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Definitely. And a close championship battle in the final round as well between Mackenzie and Desi. I'm sure you'll want to get involved and spoil the party again.
I was aware of that in this race already. I wasn't received with Danny, and I knew about it, but I still wanted to win, and I really wouldn't have cared if they would have been angry at me or not. But yeah, it didn't work out. And yeah, championship battle was pretty close now. I think it's like, I don't know how close it is, but
yeah, Danny's according to my calculation is going to be 13 points behind Mackenzie.
Okay.
So it will be need something out of the ordinary. But
yeah,
that happened to a Desi today, so there's no reason why it couldn't happen to Mackenzie next week. But we'll see.
For sure. We'll see, yeah.
Thank you for your time.
No worries.
I just cut you off there.
No, you're good. You're good.
What do you think about Monza next track? Is it a good one for you?
Don't know, to be honest. Don't know. Haven't driven it yet on the new game. So I'll have to see. Could be a tricky one because low downforce and tricky corners. But we'll see.
We will. Well, thanks for joining us, and
Alright.
hope to see you again next week.
Alright, maybe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Babalus, thanks for joining me today. If you, you're on mute. That's okay. Well, thanks everyone for coming in and watching the stream this evening. Join us next week for the last round of Season 9 at Monza in Italy. And again, it will be Wednesday for Tier 3, Thursday Tier 2, and Friday again for Tier 1, all at the same time of 7:30 CET in the evening. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new, and hope to see you all around next week, where we will crown the Tier 1 champion. So be sure to join us next week. I think I'll be on then as well, perhaps with Ocean Chief. But yeah, we'll see when it comes to the time. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you have a good evening, and see you again very soon. Goodbye.